Hey folks, Matt Sharp here with another Pacific Angler Friday Fishing Report. We're filming for April 16th, so if it's nowhere near April 16th, click up here. This is a link to all the Friday Fishing Reports. We do it most weeks, so I should have something up to date for you, but this one's a big one, so crack a beer, sit back, hang out with me. We're gonna talk about politics. On the first of the month, regulations came out that closed salmon fishing in the saltwater area. Now, I told you guys to be calm. I told you guys to be cool. I cited some stuff from DFO that left a really broad opening for the minister to come down and give us opportunity, give us science-based opportunity that does not affect stocks of concern. I looked at the science. The DFO guys have looked at the science. They made their recommendations. The SFAB made their recommendations. A letter went in from the SFAB, and what I mean by that is the Sports Fishing Advisory Board. The minister responded to that, and I think it's now time that we make sure that the minister knows that we want to see science-based decisions, and we know the science. We've seen the government science, and we don't understand how they're making this decision, or even delaying an opening for a marked selective fishery. I'm gonna be sharing that with you right off the hop. We're gonna look at the letter, we're gonna walk through it, and yeah, I hope you guys can get involved, whether you're a freshwater angler or a saltwater angler. This public access is very important. There's a lot of politics at play when they say they're looking at science. It really doesn't have to do with science. It has to do with special interest groups pushing and pulling on the fish when we actually really need to save the fish, do things for the fish. They would much rather have us bickering, going back and forth, and then fighting each other when it comes to access issues. Now, I know you guys tune in here for fun stuff too. We're gonna talk about the fishing. The fishing has been good. Captain Eddie's been getting fish up Howe Sound where you're legally allowed to catch and release Chinook. We've also heard some decent reports on the local flows, though they are low. I'm gonna walk you guys through water levels. You're gonna see very clear conditions on the Vedder, the Harrison, and the Squamish. And so this is a concern if you're heading out this weekend, but we're also gonna talk about the heat because it's gonna be a beautiful weekend. We're seeing 20s, official 20s coming down the pipe. And that's gonna do some interesting stuff to our rivers, but it's also gonna kick on lake fishing. It's also gonna kick on a bunch of other niche fisheries that I wanna talk about this week, stuff I want you guys to explore because there's a lot of people going outdoors right now, and a lot of the sort of standard issue fisheries are getting pretty heavy pressure. And I think there's a bunch of fisheries out there that no one's doing that people should maybe go explore, maybe spread out a bit. I'm gonna talk about that at the back end of the report. I've also got a fly from Andre to share with you, which is super fun. I'm gonna look at some old videos that we did that are sort of pertinent to this time of year because ice is coming off it in the interior. Now we have to talk about social distancing and social responsibility if anyone's traveling to the interior, but ice is coming off and we have been hearing really good reports from the folks that live up that way. As always, guys, you want to see more reports like this, consider hitting the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's get into her. So, thanks for tuning in with me, guys, this week. Cheers to Friday. Drinking prime times, courtesy of Dave. Dave, thank you. We much appreciate it. 2 sips there. God, that's a good beer. Now, what are we looking at? Well, I got to talk about this. So I literally told you guys, hey, I'm not worried. I expect regulation changes. I expect opportunity. I'm talking to the same guys that I was talking to before when they're saying, hey, I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. Their tune has changed. They're now looking at ways that we can make sure that we are heard, and that concerns me. But we've got guys to help. I got you guys, and I know you guys, you follow this, you're well educated on the fisheries. You love fisheries, you want access to fisheries. Even if the saltwater Chinook fishing isn't your fishery, this is hypercritical that we can mobilize as a large group that actually cares. There's a lot of fishermen out there. There's a lot of businesses based around fishing, but we're not very active. When I say we don't stand up and scream and yell like maybe other groups do for their rights. And we have to change that because the sports fishing community right across the board seems to be the low-hanging fruit when it comes to regulation changes designed to save fish, but nothing that's ever been done to regulate the sports fishing industry has actually made big impacts on saving stocks of concern. So I'm gonna put a number up here. This is the number of Bernadette Jordan, our honorable minister. I really want you guys to call her. I'm gonna leave this number up the entire report, and please give her a call. Take a look at the date if you're seeing this late. Find out if she's made a regulation change, or maybe call her and thank her that she made a regulation change. But if she hasn't made a regulation change, when you guys see this video, please give a call, and I want you to be respectful. I don't want hate, that ain't gonna get us anywhere. If she hasn't made the decision yet, I want you guys to make very clear that it is important to you, and it is important for her to follow the science. And the science that DFO has given the public is very clear that a marked selective fishery would have no impact on stocks of concern and would be a massive benefit to the economy when it comes to the industry of fishing, and a big boon for anyone that loves spending time and being connected with the fishery. I'm gonna leave it at that. This number is gonna stay up the entire report. I'm also gonna leave links down below, and I'll put it up here as well, to her email, as well as I want you to go to the Public Fisheries Alliance Facebook page. They have a automated letter writing system that is working, but we'd like it sort of on all fronts. I wanna see letters, I wanna see calls, because if we show on all fronts that we're taking this seriously and we're not going away, then we're hoping that she has to listen to science. On the same line, I'm also going to share another video with you here. Bob Zimmer, one of our MPs who has been working tirelessly for this, has another video. He's started a YouTube channel specifically around this issue. There's numerous videos that look at how the impacts are affecting all of us, all of the people in British Columbia when it comes to these closures. And I really encourage you to subscribe to his YouTube channel. I'm going to leave links to that up here, links down in the description as well. Okay, I know that's a lot of politics stuff. Let's talk fishing. That's why you guys are here, and the weekend looks excellent. We got 20s across the board, at least as I'm doing the report, which is Wednesday night. So that bodes well for a lot of our fisheries in a lot of ways. Let's talk rivers first, because they are super low and clear. This picture was taken Wednesday, so you can see it is very low and clear up on the Squamish Way, and this makes bull trout fishing a challenge. Cutthroat and rainbow fishing still seems to be decent when we're in these clear conditions, but bull trout really shut down in this situation, and it just makes it more challenging for all those fisheries. I'd like to see some more color. With these 20s, we should start seeing some snow melts. In the afternoon, you might see the water color up on all the systems across the lower mainland because of snow melt, and we need that right now. The Vedder is also super low and clear, which is making things more challenging. So let's hope that heat actually gets us some snow melt and we can see some color in the water. Harrison's not as affected by clear water issues because it's lake fed, so the water comes out naturally pretty clear anyway. And so it's nice and low, it's easy to hike. I could still see a little bit of snow melt coming down, which would be a good thing. But that shouldn't really affect the cutthroat fishing, and the reports have been good to decent. Not fabulous. Guys have had trouble finding fish on certain days, but there have been some reports where guys have found feeding cutthroat, and it's been excellent. So worth taking a look at. That's the Squamish, that's the Harrison, that's the local side of stuff. Saltwater fishing, Captain Eddie's been pulling on fish up the House Sound area where we're allowed to catch and release, which is excellent. He's been doing genetic sampling up there to, again, prove that these fish that we're catching are not stocks of concern, or prove that they are, and then we'll be the first ones to put up our hand and stop fishing in those areas. On the lakefront, on the interior lakefront, it looks amazing this weekend. I gotta pull up the weather and show this to you guys because this is like summer stuff and I'm super excited. Right here, you're seeing like 23, 24, 26 on Saturday, 24, 21, 21, 21. This is really cool. This is really gonna kick stuff off. We've already heard excellent ice-off reports from lower elevation lakes below 1,000-foot level. And we expect this to sort of knock into that sort of 1,500 level, depending on where you're at. Keep an eye on it. We're crossing our fingers that travel restrictions are not too extreme and that we can still, in a socially responsible way, travel to the interior. And for you guys who are doing it in a socially responsible way, make sure it's socially responsible. We still feel that being out on a lake alone in a pram is one of the world's best social distancers, as well as a good thing for mental health. And we hope that the minister doesn't change that or make a recommendation that that is not acceptable. Long story short though, if it is acceptable, the fishing should be good this weekend, and we hope you guys get out there and enjoy it. All right, last but not least, I teased at this a little bit, and I teased at this because a lot of folks are out fishing, and a lot of our standard fisheries, or the more established fisheries, have been quite crowded, and that comes with a lot of problems. It's great in a sense, meaning more people are out enjoying fishing, our voice is louder, more people can relate to what we're doing and support causes like the Public Fisheries Alliance. But it also obviously makes things more challenging for individual fishermen, and that's always one we struggle with. Obviously, I do a fishing report and encourage people to get out fishing. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and encourage some people to maybe experiment with some fisheries that I haven't done, but I think are actually really cool and might be doable in the Lower Mainland. And this is the time of year to do it, right when things start warming up. So your local sloughs, there's carp fishing, there's a whole variety of other species that are not endangered, that are very numerous and can be targeted. So I'm encouraging everyone, take a look at carp fishing, take a look at bass fishing, take a look at some of the niche style stuffs, figure out the local pond by your place, figure out the regulations and see if you can go fishing, go see what's there. Spread out a little bit. This is the time of year to do it. I'm gonna try doing some carp fishing on this weekend, try to get one on the fly. I've done it before a few times in different areas, and there's whole fisheries down south or in other parts of the country where carp on the fly is a big thing. And we have lots of carp, but very few people going for them. So I'm gonna see if I can play around with that on the weekend. I'd love to hear about what your niche fishery, obviously don't give any secret spots because that would change things, but what's your niche fishery that you think maybe can sustain a few more anglers and is interesting out there? Leave comments down below if you've got one. If you are a guy that's only ever gone to the Vedder, start spreading your wings a little bit. That's probably a good idea this year, and you might be rewarded with something really special and really cool. All right, that's everything I've got for you. I'm gonna share 2 videos with you. I got a video from Andre going over a chronomid. I'm gonna stick that guy right here. And then I've also got our bread and butter / chronomid box from last year, the what's in my fly box for lake fishing. I definitely want you guys to check out that because it is time. Start filling your box. This is gonna give you the patterns that you need to cover all your bases. And as always, you wanna see more reports like this, consider hitting the like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll catch you next week.